I recently replayed what many consider to be the best Paper Mario game, being The Thousand Year Door, which for the longest time I've considered to be the worst Mario game. And after replaying it, yeah, my opinion still hasn't changed. This game is just flat out the most boring Mario game, which is worse than bad, because I can be entertained by something bad, but this game just has nothing to laugh at. But we'll start with the level design in this game is just atrocious, to put it lightly, given how everything is just a hallway here. And that's it. For like 95% of the level design, like if we go through the entire game, then practically every single level is just a hallway with basically nothing in it besides a lot of enemies that'll never leave you alone and respawn. But back on track, the levels here are basically only hallways with two areas in this game that aren't hubs, that being the moon and fountain room, which both have their own problems. Like the moon is a place where you move slow as heck, and the enemies here are fast, like the clefs that chase you and are faster than you, and the yuxes that snipe you across the field, getting you into unwanted fights. Surprisingly, if I wanted to fight, I would have fought them myself. And the fountain room, I mean, it just has nothing in it. So yeah, might as well just play in one of the hallways. But with the hallway level design, then there's no real use for the levels to exist, as you're doing, well, basically nothing. But worse, there are annoying examples, like the boggle tree. The peonies here are absolute pain in the ass to micromanage, as they run away at any instant of an enemy being on screen, meaning you have to waste more time chasing them, and just exterminating enemies so they won't get scared. Another example is the stuff on the train. You literally spend like 20 minutes walking left and right, doing random stuff, doing nothing but pressing A. The final culprit that has to deal with the level design is the backtracking, as there is approximately 1 hour and 37 minutes worth of it. Meaning that for 8% of the game, assuming that you play for 20 hours, which is about my average time, you are walking through the exact same room. Although given how every room is quite literally the same room, just with a different coat of paint and maybe a platform here and there different, it's safe to say that about 95% of the game is backtracking anyway. But yeah, for some reason, this game just loved it so much that for each chapter, you have to waltz your ass back and forth into the sewers to go to the door and dodging the enemies, which is just super tedious. But now, let's get on to the battle system, which in my opinion is good, which is fun, and I'll talk about it more later. The most offensive part is the stage hazards, as what the hell are these things? These things generally make fighting boss fights, and occasionally normal enemies, tedious, annoying, and frustrating, as the most common are the fog and the daze, which prevent you from attacking. And the most annoying one is the frost, as it just stops you from doing anything, as at least with the other two, you could still use items. But the frost just lets the enemies beat the crap out of you, and this is an RNG gimmick, so it just happens randomly. And yeah, Bobbery and Flurry can negate the fog, but what if you aren't using them? It's a bullshit RNG gimmick that adds nothing to the game, but slows it down, and occasionally makes it bullshit, just making it artificially harder. Alright, but now onto partners, in the overworld that is, and I don't really like them. Now granted, that doesn't mean I hate them, I just mean using their abilities is kind of annoying for most of the game. Now, this is a simple reason, because for basically all the time, you want to have Yoshi out so you can go through the stages faster, as there's nothing to do in them anyways. So it was just annoying where every few rooms, you had to get off Yoshi, switch to a partner, use their ability, and then you can switch back to Yoshi so you can actually start moving at a decent pace. And even then, like, most of the time that you need to use the partners wasn't really that decently. Like, the best examples I can think of are in Exile Fortress where you use Bobbery and Vivian, and the Riverside Station with Coops where you need to time it. Those were like very good examples. The rest just feel like virtual stops and it's like, halt, do this thing. Also, the game would have been better if they just like removed Flurry, like as their ability at least, which is by far the most useless and unusable to do fun stuff with. And she's just annoying to use, as basically all the time you need to take her out is just take her out, hold X, and there you go. So I honestly think that the game would have been better if you just removed Flurry from it. But now, let's get on to the annoying complexity and nonsensical progression in this game, which, as I said, is absolutely needlessly convoluted. Like, for example, to go to the Glitzville, you don't just go up to the guy, buy a ticket for like, I don't know, 20 coins or something. No. That'd be too easy. What you actually need to do is buy some random pattern whilst at the West Side shop, which you never naturally know given that those items are useless. Then you can finally talk to Don Piana. Fuck this guy, by the way. Also, another thing is progressing in the leagues in the Glitz bit, as besides the key to the locker and the egg, the rest are complicated as heck and having to talk to random NPCs or just do random things. Another thing is the stones outside the entrance of the Pirate Grotto in Chapter 5, where you have to hammer and ground pound, which again, how would anyone know you have to do that? And there's also nothing physical to show you. Another thing is getting to Chicolacola, as why would you ever go back and consider talking to Flavio? And the last, but definitely not least thing, is the random ass NPCs you have to talk to in General White's thing, as you just have to talk to those random NPCs to progress, and basically any other time you have to talk to a random ass NPC. As when everyone is unique, no one is unique, and that means no one stands out, so that means you just have no inclination to think anyone is special that would actually help you. But now, let's get on to the most offensive part of this game. The part that makes me wonder who greenlit this. And that is the Bowser and Peach segments. These segments are just plain awful. There is seriously nothing to these parts other than being annoying. These segments take together about 10 minutes every time, and are nothing but walking left and right, mashing the A button, and doing some of those boring gameplay, because it doesn't even count as gameplay, you're just walking left and right. These segments don't add anything to the game, and they exist purely to waste your time. And now, let's go into more of the time wasting thing with the enemy spam in the hallways. So, it's very easy to get into an accidental fight, and because the enemies still target you afterwards, it's very easy to get into an accidental fight again, and running just makes you lose money, which makes me not want to lose them, so I try to pick them up. But because this game is, well, bad, you'll most likely waste your time, like this game is dedicated to wasting your time, as you'll most likely just enter into another fight, because the invincibility frames don't last long enough, and the enemies still are out for blood and are very fast in this game, so it's very easy to get into another accidental fight. Now, onto the final portion of the back part, the chapter specifics. Like, for example, nothing really annoying happens in Chapter 1, so let's bitch about Chapter 2, which has the punies. And like I said earlier, these are most annoying things you could have been burdened with, as all they do is run away at the sight of an enemy, and trying to have them follow you correctly and doing anything with them sucked. Chapter 3, besides the progression issues, the fights here get stale and boring really quickly, as they're just the normal boring fights, they have no substance. Like Chapter 1, Chapter 5 and 7 have nothing specific to them that's egregious, so we'll get on to Chapter 6, which concept is just flat out awful. It was boring and had you basically doing nothing the entire chapter, besides talking to random NPCs, and the Riverside Station part was pretty much boring like everything else. And Chapter 8 suffers from the regular quality problems this game had, and the key room, which I don't have any problem with, I just suck at it. But that's all the horrible things about this game. Now let's get on to the mediocre things. Like the badge system, which was pretty meh. Most badges are just bad or mid, and the most useful ones are mere power boosts. Some people probably have used them effectively, and probably had a bunch of fun using them, and I'm happy with them being here instead of them not being here. And the base battle system on its own, it's okay, it's basic, but basic doesn't mean bad. It just means it works well, and it works well for this game. And a thing I wanted to add is that enemies, and more importantly, bosses, give you more XP the more fights you skip, so that's nice. And another thing, this game has 225 force interactions, but 67 of them come from Chapter 3, And also, Chapter 3 has more interactions than the entirety of Sticker Star combined, funnily enough. And lastly, for the good parts of this game. Firstly, the bosses are pretty good here. No complaints, they're challenging enough on a normal playthrough and can challenge the player fairly. Like Blacktail in Chapter 8, which is a very good fight and personally my favorite in this entire game. Another one is Hooktail. Another very good fight, as you can make it easier with the Cricket badge, or Attack Effects A I'm pretty sure it's called, or you can do it normally, which I think is very fun to allow the player to, be able to make the fight easier or harder for themselves if they so wish to. And lastly, partner puzzles, which are fairly good designed, like the ones with Coops in Riverside Station and the combo ones in Exnaut Fortress. The ones in Chapter 8 were simple, yet clever, and I'll also just throw in the paper transformations, as those were fun occasionally, like the plane. It's sometimes annoying to use, but overall, I thought the plane was pretty fun to use. And like, this isn't really part of the actual game, but I'm still gonna say that I'm still gonna count this. The casino, this was absolutely baller. This was the best part of this game. Honestly, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door works much better as a casino game. You have slots, the paper transformations were used in their own games, like the ones where you run with Toads, the paper boat race, the tube race, the plane one. Man, those little casino minigames, they are the best thing about this game. If I'm ranking the casino games by themselves, they get a solid 8 out of 10. I really like the casino minigames. But with all that being said, where do I rank Thousand Year Door now? Well, after everything, it's fair to say that this game, for me, is a 1 out of 10. As this game is worse than being bad. It's boring. And when a game doesn't want you playing it, it's worse. Because a game that's buggy, you can laugh. You can laugh at glitches or feel accomplished after beating a frustrating level. But with boredom, you feel nothing. But with that, that's the end of the video. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and if not, tell me in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.